All right. Good afternoon, everyone. Just making sure everybody can hear me fine at the back. Yep, good, awesome. Thanks so much for sticking around. I know this is a really long day, especially after a really long day yesterday, anticipating a really long day tomorrow. So I appreciate you sticking around. My name's Damien Brady. I am a cloud advocate at Microsoft, and in this 20-minute session, it's going to be a bit whirlwind. I'm going to talk about Azure DevOps, the product. So if there's anything that you see that I just gloss over, or you see some icons or something and you want to know more about it, there's a couple of Azure DevOps booths in that section over there, just past where the partners are. Go and speak to those the people there. They're all from the product team. They'll be here today and tomorrow. They will be able to answer all of your questions around that as well. So we're going to take a bit of a whirlwind, but before we do, let's start by level setting a little bit and talk about what DevOps is. So at Microsoft, we define DevOps as the union of people, process, and products to enable continuous delivery of value to your end users. Now, I usually talk about all of the highlighted things here because they're all very important from a DevOps perspective. But because we're talking about Azure DevOps, the product, that's where I'm focusing, the product. I just want you to keep in mind that the product is not a silver bullet. It's not going to solve everything for you. DevOps requires some culture change. It requires some changes to the way that you operate your systems and think about your users and your software. So just because this product does a lot of really good stuff, there's still more that you need to do. It's not a silver bullet, but we're going to talk about the product itself, Azure DevOps. Now, Azure and Azure DevOps kind of gives you everything you need to successfully operate an application, build it, come up with the ideas, deploy it, and then monitor it when it's in production as well. So we have development tools. You've obviously seen a lot of those at Build, I'm guessing, for writing your code. Azure DevOps is the way that we deliver our code, all of those services that I'm about to run through. And then there's also operating your code in Azure, so operating the applications and the infrastructure that you have. So this kind of gives a full end-to-end picture of your software delivery and software operation. What we're talking about, though, is really the delivery part, the Azure DevOps. And I'm not just talking about continuous integration, continuous delivery. I'm talking about actually doing the whole process of getting code into your users' hands. Now, we use this internally at Microsoft. We have 82,000 deployments internally using Azure DevOps every single day. So Azure is deployed through Azure DevOps. Azure DevOps is deployed using Azure DevOps, which is a little bit like changing the engine on a plane while the plane is flying sometimes. But we do this every single time. We run hundreds of thousands of tests. We run, there's 28,000 work items created every single day, 4.6 million builds every month. So we use this a great deal. I mentioned in the previous talk that I did Azure Artifacts. There's currently 155 petabytes of artifacts stored in Azure Artifacts, which is about 3/4 of a 40-foot shipping container of hard drives, just for that information. So we use this stuff so heavily internally, which kind of gives you an idea of how much effort we put into the product and how much we rely on it at Microsoft as well. So we use the product a lot. The product itself, though, is really a collection of services. So for those who are familiar with Team Foundation Server, if people have used that, Visual Studio Online, the first version before we announced a different Visual Studio Online this week. It was called Visual Studio Online, and that was a hosted one, and then Visual Studio Team Services was the new name, and then we rebranded it to Azure DevOps, but we also broke it apart to separate it into the pieces that only you want. So there's 5 main services for Azure DevOps. You don't need to use all of them. If you have your code in GitHub, you might not want to use Azure Repos. If you manage your work items using a different tool like Jira or something like that, you probably might not want to use Azure Boards. You can use Jenkins for your build. You can use whatever tooling you want, and we'll fill in the gaps as you need. So we're going to do a bit of a whirlwind through all of these services, and as I say, if you have further questions, I'll be around for a few minutes afterwards, but the Azure DevOps booth is full of people who can answer all these questions for you. So let's actually just go and do a demo. So I can show you slides and things like that, but that's a little bit boring. Let's slide across and actually have a look at some of the services. So we'll start with Azure Boards. And I just want to check, can people see that okay in the back? Zoomed in enough? All right. What about now? Because I want to show all the columns. Cool. So this is an example of a board. And it's got some work items. You can see there's lots of colors, lots of customizations. We've got swim lanes and things as well. So I've got a swim lane saying these are the super important things, and then the tasks that belong in there go red. So when I move them there, they go red. We have ones that are assigned to me, highlighted yellow, ones that are assigned to my boss, are highlighted blue. And this isn't like the way it sits out of the box. This is customization that you can do as part of your work. This integrates really nicely with Azure Repos as well. So you can do things like make a commit and put in a special tag pointing at a particular work item, and it will drag that work item across to the appropriate column. You can say this fixes work item number 10, and it will drag it across. And that works not just in Azure Repos, but if your code is in GitHub too. Azure Boards has a new extension that you can use or an app in GitHub, which is the Azure Boards extension, which helps with this integration between GitHub and Azure Boards as well, which is really cool. That was kind of announced just a couple of days ago. Now, this is how this looks for me. This is how I've set it up, and you can drag and drop these things around. You can see when I move it there, it changes the priority is my name. So if I drag Donovan, that's probably going to do the same thing. But let's say Abel's is now super important, and it's blocked. Okay, I've set it up wrong. But you can see you can drag these things around. You can work however you want. There's a lot of different views with Azure Boards as well. The customization is really, really deep too. So the process I'm using there, I believe, was the agile process. So that's certain types of work items, certain processes to move from one state to another, and certain rules around how the forms look and things like that. But all of this is customizable. You can create inherited templates or inherited processes that start there, but then give you the ability to change them however you want. So you could change the way a task looks, for example, so that there's a new field that appears there, or a new field that you want to create that is added to the form, and that data gets saved as well. You can move things around, obviously. You can change the states that it goes through. So we're looking at the task work item. It goes through a proposed new active, closed, and removed. And you can even set up rules. So you can say, for example, when somebody drags it to the active column, don't let them change the original estimate anymore. So you can set your own business rules around how this stuff flows and how this stuff works together as well. It is super powerful, really, really powerful way of managing the work you do in the way that you do that work. There's also a new template that they announced a little bit before build called the basic template. So not everybody wants to run with a Scrum process or an Agile process. A basic one really just gives you to do, doing, done. And it's generally designed to be more of a Kanban board where you just drag tasks across. So this is really customizable for how you do your work. And again, the GitHub extension means if your code is in GitHub, the integration gets really tight there as well. I want to move on to Azure Repos. And Azure Repos ultimately under the covers gives you free unlimited Git repositories, private Git repositories. But you can also use Team Foundation version control if that's what you're familiar with. But we're moving towards Git, especially internally. Team Foundation version control is not going anywhere, but Git is kind of the way that we are pushing people. And you can see there's kind of some nice UI. You get your nice little graph that you can turn on and off if you want. So ultimately, there's one contributor to this project. Ultimately, this is just Git, right? But there's some really good enterprise-y features that you can add to Azure Repos. So things like branch policies. This is one of my favorite features. So this means that you can protect your master branch. So nobody can actually just commit code straight into your master branch. They have to go through a number of policies and submit a pull request to go through. And that pull request can do things like require a minimum number of reviewers or make sure you're linking work items whenever you commit code. If anybody leaves any comments, they have to be marked as resolved before it can be merged. There's a build validation one. So in other words, you're not going to merge your PR, your pull request, back into master until it's actually passed a build. Super useful for open source projects too, because people can submit code and you know immediately whether it's going to actually break your build or not, because you're running a build at the same time. Now, one thing that I'll touch on a couple of times is that Azure DevOps in general is extremely extensible. So it's not just the stuff that's in the box that's really popular. There's partners of ours and community who build extensions for this. And one of the really cool ones adds some branch policies as well. And so this is from Sonar Source, a company. There's a few of them sitting at the front. And this is a tool that allows you to basically evaluate the code to make sure you don't have things like security vulnerabilities and stuff like that. So I've added a branch policy here to check a quality gate to make sure the code that I'm actually going to submit through my PR succeeds. And it's picked up the fact that I'm only using 124 bits for my RSA encryption, which is not really something you generally pick up with a build or something. So this is an example of the extensibility, and you can see that quality gate's failed. You can drill into it. It'll take you to a bit more detail inside the Sonar Source tools, Sonar Cloud, and it'll show you what it is, what that vulnerability is. So this kind of stuff is really powerful. It's an extremely extensible ecosystem. So not just the out-of-the-box stuff, and I know they have a bunch of other stuff that's available here. There's extensions from other companies like WhiteSource, who I think have a booth there as well. If you want to know more about it, there's a lot more that it can do. All the Sonar Source people are here now, but I imagine at some point they'll be back at the booth. But this means that these kind of enterprisey features are really handy for organizations that really care about the code that's going in. So if you want to use Git and Team Foundation version control, that's a fantastic way of doing it. Moving on to pass the code to the pipeline stuff, continuous integration, continuous deployment, or continuous delivery. You might have seen Azure Pipelines mentioned quite a lot. It's an awesome CI/CD tool with some really good offers for open source too. So again, a GitHub application is really an easy way to get started if your code is in GitHub. And the pricing's not bad either. $0 is pretty good. I think that's $0 US, so that's probably like $40 Australian. You can add more parallel jobs if you want, but for open source projects, you get 10 free parallel jobs at a time and unlimited hosted build minutes. If you have private repositories, whether they're here or in Azure Repos or somewhere else, private repositories is 1,800 build minutes, hosted build minutes, and one parallel job at a time. So it's still free up to a certain point, and then you can start paying us if you use a bit more by buying more parallel jobs. They're extremely powerful too. So here's an example of a CI build for Python being built on an Ubuntu machine. So we have hosted build agents for Linux, Windows, and Mac, and also a number of flavors of them. So hosted Mac OS and High Sierra, Ubuntu 16.04, VS 2017, VS 2019. So these are agents that will build and release your code that we spin up in Azure. We do the build or whatever tasks you give it, and then we tear it down at the end. You can also host your own, not just on these flavors, but you could host one on a Raspberry Pi if you wanted to. And I know that because I've done it. Actually build your applications on something else. So that's extremely extensible. Sorry, this is the visual UI as well, and you can see there's out-of-the-box tasks for Python, building Docker, Kubernetes, all sorts of stuff like that. So that's the visual one, but then there's also YAML-based build definitions and now release definitions, or multi-stage pipelines. So this allows you to say things like, well, we've got a build stage, and then we've got a deployment stage. And you might have several deployment stages. You might have tasks that run in between those formal stages. So build, run some tests, and then deploy as a separate stage as well. There's a really cool task helper that really helps building that YAML as well. So you can say, I want to do a NuGet publish, and then add that task, and it will add the YAML for you. And we're doing more work around that to make that a little bit easier. And what that ultimately gives you is this kind of nice multi-stage process. You can have a look at the actual jobs that ran and all of the tasks and logs that came out of those, so nothing is hidden from you, and do all of that kind of stuff. There's even test results and things like that that you can do. So this test, for example, actually I'm in the wrong one, but you can have a look at the summary for test results. Oh, there we go. So you can see that your test passed. And this is tests running in Python using PyTest that's been pushed up and aggregated in Azure Pipelines itself. So this is really powerful, both for closed or for private projects and open source projects as well. Now the release side of it, again, you can do that in YAML. That is a new thing that's been announced at Build. So release definitions in YAML, which I just showed you, but you can also use the visual editor if you're more familiar with this too. The advantage of defining your builds and releases in YAML means that the definition of how to build and deploy your application lives with the code that it's building and deploying. So if somebody forks your repository or clones your code, they're not only getting the code, the application that you've written, but they're getting the way of building that application, which can be really powerful. It's really handy when you're working in branches too. So maybe your branch changes the way that your code needs to be built. You don't want to change the main build definition because that's going to break the master build. So you can change the build definition alongside the branch changes that you have too, and then merge that in later. So having YAML is really good, but if you wanted release definitions, you can do that here as well, and they can be as complicated as you want. There's even one which deploys to a Jenkins API in this example, which is kind of cool. And if you don't want to use the build stuff in Azure Pipelines, you can also add artifacts from all sorts of places. So builds directly from Azure Repos or GitHub, from Team Foundation version control. Azure Artifacts, if you publish your stuff in Azure Artifacts, we'll talk about that soon. Azure Container Registry, so when there's a new container that's pushed to the registry, you can trigger a new release. Docker Hub, Jenkins, and again, the extensibility model means that you can install, for example, a Team City extension, and that becomes an artifact type that you can deploy this way as well. The Azure ML team has just released an extension which I think adds a machine learning model as an artifact type. So when there's a new model published to the AML workspace, you can trigger a release, which is really cool as well. So again, extensibility means that you can do a whole lot of stuff in this release. The way it works is exactly the same. It's the same task runner essentially, just in a different context. All right, let's quickly look at artifacts. And so artifacts is a way of managing the packages and the parts of your application that you want to make available to the other builds and the other people in your organization. Think of it as a private NuGet server, but way beyond NuGet. So I have NuGet packages here. I have a universal package, and these are very cool. You can basically just say, here's a bunch of files in a folder. I want that to be a package called demo.universal.demotest or something like that. Version it with version 1.0.0, and that's just a package now. That will get managed. You can get metrics around it. You can find out, you can restrict access to those packages. You can promote certain packages. You can unlist them. You can set them as internal only, as pre-release, and all that kind of stuff. So I've got NuGet and Universal there, but you can connect to these feeds and upload packages in all of these formats too. So NPM, Maven, Gradle, Universal packages, and Python too. So this is an awesome way of actually managing your stuff. Now this used to be licensed on a user basis. That changed at build as well, and now it is licensed on a consumption basis, and now there's a free tier. So you get 2 gig of artifacts for free, and then you can start paying for it based on the usage of Azure Artifacts as well. I mentioned before that there's 155 petabytes of stuff in Azure Artifacts. It's still very performant. So this is a great way of storing those resources that your projects and your developers will need. All right, the last little bit in the last couple of minutes is Azure Test Plans. Now this could be a full day of sessions itself, Azure Test Plans. But the short version is that this is a way of managing your manual, exploratory, and even automated testing efforts as well. So you can add in Azure Test Plans, you can add test suites that are based on just static tests, and these are all work items that appear in Azure Boards. Or you can do ones based on requirements. You can say, these are the requirements we're going to put in this release. Give me all of the tests that are part of those requirements. So you can link those tests back to the requirements they come from, and then do a requirements-based suite so that those items that we're deploying, I want to run all of those tests. So this is an example. This is a meal release. I've asked for the tests for creating an exercise, editing a meal, and creating a meal. And so it's given me 2 of these tests per one of those, because I have two tests attached to each work item. And even in the browser, I can run this test, and it gives me some really cool UI for your testers to be able to go and do their work, mark this one as correct, say, yeah, okay, this one is correct as well. Let's mark that whole test as a pass, And then that gets tracked alongside the tests, which gets tracked alongside the requirements, and even drilled all the way back. You can create bugs directly from here as well. Even tracked all the way back, if you wanted to, you can set these test plans to run on the case of a build and a release pipeline that you just set up with Azure Pipelines. So you can get that full traceability of the idea that you had, the code that you wrote, whether it's in GitHub or Azure Repos, the build that you created, the release that you deployed to, which environments and which locations you deployed to, what tests were run as part of that, even the tracking of the artifacts, the versions of the artifacts that were pulled down as part of that build and part of that deployment. So all of this fits in together really, really nicely. Cool. I am running very low on time, and I realize I've kind of spun through a ton of this stuff. I just want to mention one thing really, really quickly, and that is there's a bunch of resources that are available to you. So these are the services. Oh, I didn't have those resources there. Cool. There we go. The resources, there's a few links there. These are useful to get. The docs for Azure DevOps themselves, DevOps at Microsoft, which is a really awesome page about lots of learnings that we've had at Microsoft as we've gone down this DevOps journey internally. And then I also have a Channel 9 show, if you watch that kind of thing, called the DevOps Lab, where I interview and my team interviews a bunch of really smart people, which is a nice change for me, a nice change for everybody who's just listening to me. It's nice to listen to some smart people occasionally. So go and have a look at that. They're about 15-minute videos. And again, go and have a chat to the Azure DevOps teams. Finally, just really quickly, I'm not sure where, yep, Jeff Palermo has a few books left, DevOps for .NET. I think he's running slightly low, but he'll have a box of those over there. Feel free to go and grab one. And I have a handful of stickers here. Thank you very much for your time, and I hope you have a great rest of your build.